So, guys, yesterday, the ANC had a press conference with their lapdogs. These small political parties that are trying to take the credit for the work that was done by the DA and the EFF. I mean, we all remember when the fiscal framework that consisted of 0.5 VAT increase and also supported by these small political parties that are trying to take credit today. We all remember when that was passed in Parliament. The DA and the EFF said, we're going to take this matter to the court. We are not going to allow Cyril Ramaphosa, Ino Godongwana, and this corrupt administration to force South Africans to pay for their incompetence. This is a promise that was made by the DA and the EFF. And the DA and the EFF took Ino Godongwana to court, and they embarrassed him so much that he decided to settle out of court. This is how much they embarrassed him to settle out of court. And the reason why Ino Godongwana and his team decided to settle out of court, it is because he couldn't stand the embarrassment that was going to come Judgment Day. This is one thing that they were not going to be able to handle. So Ino Godongwana said that, okay, guys, I understand that you brought the big guns into the court. I'm asking you guys, let's please settle out of court. So today, or yesterday rather, it was quite embarrassing to watch these political parties try to take the credit for the work that was done by the EFF and the DA. Because what these small political parties are trying to do, they are trying to give South Africans an impression that the ANC listened to these recommendations that we made. This is what they are saying. And this is what they are telling South Africans, that we proposed these recommendations to the ANC, and to show that the ANC, it is such a good partner, they listened to us and they decided to reverse the decision to increase the VAT hikes. And if you listen to these people, you would actually realize that these people are undermining the intelligence of the people of this country. Because I only have one question for these people. If the ANC listened to these recommendations, why did the finance minister defend the VAT hikes? It was only last week when the finance minister said, I don't see any alternatives. I don't see any alternatives, because if there were any alternatives, I would be doubting my fiscal framework. This is what the finance minister said. But today, we are supposed to listen to these political parties when they say that the ANC is such a good partner and they have listened to us and our recommendations. Truth of the matter is that these people, Ino Godongwana and this administration, they were not going to be able to handle the judgment that was going to come on the 29th of May. This is one thing that they were not going to be able to handle. So instead of that, they have decided to settle out of courts. But if you listen to these political parties, they are saying that the decision of Ino Godongwana to reverse the VAT hikes, it has nothing to do with the courts. This is what they are saying. And as an individual, you cannot help but actually get angry with what these people are saying, because at this point, they actually believe that South Africans are stupid. If it wasn't for this court case, the VAT hikes would have went through. This is one thing for sure, because these people defended these VAT hikes so much. You remember when Ramaphosa was playing golf the other day, and the journalist, they questioned him about this thing of the VAT hikes. And Ramaphosa said, okay, we understand that there are political parties that actually voted for us on a condition that the finance minister must come back with a revised budget in 30 days. And these people have actually made recommendations. But I spoke with Treasury, but Treasury right now, they are saying that no, there's no way. There's no way. There's no alternative. There's no alternative. This is how much these people actually believed in these VAT hikes. And the same ANC was celebrating in Parliament after their fiscal framework that consisted of a 0.5 VAT increase was passed. They celebrated in Parliament, and South Africans were actually disgusted with these people celebrating at their expense to say that we have made things even more expensive for you. We don't care as long as we're going to be able to collect all the money. These people were celebrating the VAT hikes in Parliament. But today, we are supposed to believe that the ANC was never for the VAT hikes. We are supposed to believe that the political parties that actually voted for that fiscal framework that consisted of 0.5 was not for the VAT hikes. This is how much this thing is so infuriating. It is so infuriating because they are not being honest with the people of this country. And you would think that these political parties would learn their lesson. You would think that these political parties would actually learn their lesson and see the ANC for exactly what it is. Because if it wasn't for this court case, the ANC would have pushed through with the VAT hikes and their political parties would actually be done. So you would think that these political parties would actually say that, guys, we must not touch the ANC with a 10-foot pole. We don't want anything to do with the ANC because these people almost costed us, these political parties. If it wasn't for this victory of the DA and the EFF, our political parties would actually be done. But no, these people are still naive. Till today, they are still naive. They believe that it was because of them. They don't say anything about the fact that the minister has decided to settle out of court. And the same question that I asked earlier on, or on the previous video, I said that why would the finance minister decide to settle out of court if he knew that he was going to win? People settle out of court when they know that they are going to lose. People settle out of court when they know that they are going to lose. And it is clear as day that these people knew exactly that they were not going to win. That's why they decided to settle out of court. But listening to people like Mane, listening to people like Mashaba, you would actually believe that it is because of the recommendations that they have made. Unbelievable, man. This is unbelievable. These people are refusing to learn their lesson. These people, if given a chance, they will stab you in the back again. And this is one thing that South Africans must actually understand about these smaller political parties. If given a chance again, these people will stab you. They are going to stab us again if they were given a chance. Because none of them has actually decided to learn their lesson. They are still sticking with the ANC. The same ANC that they were talking bad about a couple of months ago. And we don't know what these people were actually promised. But they are sticking with the ANC, the same ANC that almost destroyed their political parties. This is how naive these people are. This is how naive and ignorant these people are. And just listen to the Secretary General of the ANC, man. You know, sometimes when these people speak, every time when I listen to Fikile Mbalula, I'm like, man, I'm always lost for words when I listen to Fikile Mbalula. Because this guy is the Secretary General of the ANC. He is the Secretary General of the ANC, but when he speaks, I'm sure that he has something in his ears because clearly he cannot hear what he says. Just listen to him right now.
And I want not to speak on behalf of these political parties. Majority of them rejected VAT increase.
So I don't want to play the whole video because he's going to say a lot of dumb things. So let's start with these political parties. Fikile Mbalula says that majority of these political parties, they rejected the VAT hike. So according to Fikile Mbalula, the political parties that actually voted for the fiscal framework that consisted of 0.5 VAT hikes are anti-VAT hikes. So why would you actually vote for VAT hikes if you don't want any VAT hikes? Does it make any sense? Does it make any sense? And what the ANC is trying to do, the ANC, one thing for sure is that they will never give the DA and the EFF credit. The ANC hate these two political parties. They will never give them the credit for the work that they have actually done. So right now, what the ANC is doing is trying to make these losers feel better that, yeah, we have actually done something. But deep down, the likes of Fikile Mbalula, Cyril Ramaphosa, Ino Godongwana, they know what is happening. They know what is happening. And I'm sure even today, they still cannot believe how naive these people are to sit there next to them and to pretend like this decision to reverse the VAT hikes, it was because of them. I'm sure these people still cannot believe that. These people are so naive. These people are so politically incapacitated that they actually believe that the decision to reverse the VAT hikes, it was because of them. So now, Fikile Mbalula is saying the same thing that people were actually fighting against this whole time, to say that we voted for the VAT hikes, but we are not for the VAT hikes, because this is something that was said by Mashaba for a long time that we voted for the VAT hikes, but we are not for the VAT hikes. And South Africans said that, guys, you cannot have your cake and eat it. You cannot have your cake and eat it. You need to decide whether you are on the side of the people and you are rejecting these VAT hikes, or you are on the side of the ANC that has been increasing the VAT and wasting the money. You have to decide. And these people said that, no, we are on the middle, man. We are not. We are on the middle. We can have this and we can have that at the same time. And we refused to listen to these people. But right now, Fikile Mbalula is saying the same thing that these political parties said, that they voted for the VAT hikes, but they were not against the VAT hikes. So go figure.
And I want not to speak on behalf of these political parties. Majority of them rejected VAT increase, the ANC included.
I mean, so if the ANC didn't want any VAT hikes, why was Inogodongwana defending the VAT hikes? Why was the ANC celebrating in parliament after the fiscal framework had passed? Like, these are just basic questions. But Mbalula standing there, he will say that the ANC was not for the VAT hikes, despite the same ANC defending the VAT hikes, the finance minister defending the VAT hikes, the ANC celebrating the VAT hikes, but the ANC is against the VAT hikes. And for some reason, in his mind, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
But the ANC position with the review of 0.5% was informed by the fact that the budget had to cross and there was no alternative to other sources of revenue in terms of the budget.
I mean, like, who believes that there were not any alternatives? Do you, any of you guys, believe that there were no alternatives? And to show you that these people, they don't care about these fools that are sitting next to them. These people had actually proposed what the ANC can cut. These people had actually proposed what the ANC can do to actually get this revenue that they are talking about. You remember Musime Mane was talking about 100 million rands, Mashaba, they were talking about billions and billions of rands. But Fikile Mbalula says that there were no alternatives. There were no alternatives. Meaning that they are still believe that the VAT should go through. They still believe that the VAT should go through. But the DA and the EFF embarrassed them so much that they are now deciding to give the victory to these useless political parties. And South Africans, you must remember that if you are going to vote for these smaller political parties, please just vote for ANC. It will be less painful. Just vote for the ANC. Vote for the ANC. Vote for the ANC, and this is you telling South Africans that you are okay with everything that is happening in the country. You are okay with that. So Fikile Mbalula, they still believe that there were no alternatives, despite all the recommendations that were made. And if you listen to the recommendations that were made by these political parties, they are no different to what the DA said months and months ago. So these recommendations that these people have made, it is not something new. It is not new. This guy was the first person to say that the ANC does not believe in cutting. The ANC does not believe in cut. But today, he wants you to believe that the ANC suddenly believes in cutting. This is a joke, man. This is a joke.
We understand perfectly that budget is regressive and all of that. And then they said, we mitigate the budget. Essential goods are zero rated. It doesn't make sense to our people and everyone else when we use the buzzword poor. You must ask me as Minister of Transport when it comes to e-tolls. Even people who were using buses were opposed to e-tolls. We didn't pay e-tolls. Buses and taxis, they were not affected. But the black and the middle strata in South Africa in general protested and said no to e-tolls, and they were not paid. So we come to the budget, no to VAT increase. And this was what was coming in terms of engagement.
Just a word salad, I mean. This is word salad. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. But what I really find strange is them not mentioning any of this. Like, this is one thing that I don't understand about these people. This is one thing that I don't understand about these people. So, the leader of Action SA, Mashaba, says that the decision of the finance minister to reverse the VAT hikes, it has nothing to do with the court case that they have decided to lose, or the court case that they have lost, basically. Because if you decide to settle out of court, it means that you have lost that court case. But not according to Mashaba. Not according to the Mashaba, the decision of the finance minister to reverse the VAT hike, it is because he's an honorable man who is doing who is working with these idiots right here. He's an honorable man who is working with these people right here. This is according to Mashaba. And that's why I'm saying that every time when you listen to these people, man, you will get a headache. You will absolutely get a headache listening to these people.
Today, we have witnessed that our objective has become a reality. There will be no VAT increase, not because of any court case that opportunistic parties now seek to falsely claim credit for, but because of principled, good faith negotiations grounded in substance rather than extortionist, unpatriotic, and shamelessly dishonest politicians. It is highly appropriate for me to acknowledge the ANC and the finance minister for their role in our negotiations. Our engagements were conducted in total good faith, with maturity, with the best interest of the people of the country in mind. Nobody attempted to mislead or dupe anyone else, as claimed in some media circles. There was an absolute focus on the budget and nothing else. Let it be clear, the reversal of this VAT increase was not achieved by the parties that were here in court on Tuesday.
You see, Mashaba knows. He knows what is up when he says that this decision was not because of the political parties that went to court. He knows very well it was because of that. Because, I mean, guys, let's be honest, man. If this decision was not because of the court case that was brought by the DA and the EFF, the finance minister should have still defended the VAT hikes. And after he has won that case, would come back to say that, guys, we are reversing this. Because if the finance minister and his team decided to defend the VAT hikes against the DA and basically win, that was going to be an embarrassment on the DA. That was going to be an embarrassment on the EFF. But the finance minister, he has caved and decided to settle out of court. The finance minister sent his lawyers to the EFF, to send these lawyers to the DA to say that, guys, please, and talk to those people there and tell them that we don't want to fight anymore. So why didn't the finance minister take the opportunity to embarrass the DA and the EFF? Because we know that whenever these people are given a chance, or if they were going to be given a chance to embarrass the DA and the EFF, they would have done that. But the fact that they failed to do that and settled out of court, it means that they have actually lost. They have lost, and the DA and the EFF had won. But Mashaba standing there. No, it is not about the political parties that went to court. It is because of the ANC and the ANC negotiating in good faith. I mean, guys, do we live in a twilight? I don't understand. I don't understand, man. I don't understand. Honestly, I don't.
Parties that were here in court on Tuesday. The VAT reversal was achieved by political parties that were willing to put their differences aside and demonstrate the maturity required to find an alternative to a VAT increase.
So this is the leader of Action SA, Mashaba, saying that, no, you guys must not even try to take this credit for it. It is not because of you. It is not because of you. So right now, we have the deputy president of Patriotic Alliance. I'm sure that Gayton McKenzie does not even want to show his ugly face anymore. So he says that, can Kunene go there and actually embarrass yourself on national television? This is, like, listening to these people, man, it is absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. So let's listen to the leader, or not the leader, the deputy president of Patriotic Alliance. Just listen to the rant that he's about to have.
Further deliberations happened, and these parties persuaded the Ministry of Finance and Treasury to consider alternative means of making up for the shortfall. So the Democratic Alliance waking up this morning after seeing the statement of the minister and claiming victory is quite hypocritical.
It is not hypocritical because the finance minister has contacted the DA to settle out of court. So this is the way of the finance minister to say, I surrender, I wave a white flag. I don't want to fight. So what the hell is Kunene talking about to say that the DA coming out to and celebrating the fact that the finance minister has decided to, or they forced the finance minister to reverse this decision of the VAT hike? It is quite hypocritical. What do you mean it is quite hypocritical? There is nothing hypocritical about the finance minister sending his lawyers to the DA and the EFF and saying, guys, we want to settle out of court. There is nothing hypocritical about that. There is nothing hypocritical. If there is one thing hypocritical, it is you guys that were not listened all of this time. Finance minister defending the VAT hike in front of you guys and saying, and basically saying, to hell with these people, to hell with their proposals. I'm not going to listen to that. I'm going to defend this. And if these people want us to go to the courts, we're going to go to the courts. And when they get to the courts, they realized that, no, this is a huge mistake and we cannot afford the judge to tell us in front of South Africa that, no, the DA and the EFF are right. So we are waving a white flag. We are sending our people to say that, guys, please, white flag. And the fact that these people cannot see that they are being used, it is one thing that is quite infuriating. They cannot see that they are being used by the ANC. They cannot see that. They are just riding along with this. That's why I'm saying that if there was anybody with common sense sitting here, these people would actually say that, guys, the ANC almost destroyed us. The ANC almost destroyed us. But no, not according to these people. Not according to these people. They believe that it was because of their recommendations of cutting, despite the ANC telling them that we don't believe in cutting. Unbelievable.
Because they have never rejected the VAT increase at the beginning. Instead, they tried to use it to privatize what South Africans own. They tried to use it to get positions in the GNU. They tried to use it.
I mean, what positions? The DA already has positions inside the GNU. The DA already has positions inside the GNU. And like, this is so silly of these political parties to try to say that, no, the DA was trying to use their power to get things that are out of budget to be settled. The DA was out of their mind to try to get the Bela bill scrapped and using this budget. This is what is called politics. This is politics. This is politics. Even Fikile Mbalula, the man who is sitting literally next to you, he told you that budget, it is a political tool. Budget, it is a political tool. So even the ANC understands what the DA was doing. The ANC understands that the DA was trying to play politics, and this is politics, and you cannot fault these people for playing politics. And it is so silly for these people to try to say that, no, the DA was never supposed to play politics with this thing. They were never supposed to play politics with this thing. This is what is called politics. This is politics. You use your leverage. You use your leverage whenever you are given one. You use your leverage. But according to some political parties and the so-called political analysts in this country, they think that it is insane for a political party to try to pursue its political agenda. Just imagine saying that it is wrong for a political party to try to achieve its political agenda. This is insane. Absolutely insane. And these people are saying that, no, the DA was in favor of the VAT. But two things is that there is a difference between saying we're going to support the VAT, and there's a difference between voting against the VAT. Even if these people are accusing the DA of saying the DA was in favor of the VAT increase, at the end of the day, the DA didn't vote for the VAT increase. They voted for the VAT increase. And this is a difference between them and the Democratic Alliance, the EFF, Umkhonto we Sizwe. Because if you look at the EFF, Umkhonto we Sizwe Party, and the DA, despite everything that they said, at the end of the day, they didn't vote for the VAT increase. But these political parties, they voted for the VAT increase. And now they want you as a citizen of this country to actually get mad at the DA for being in favor of the VAT increase, despite the DA voting against the VAT increase. But they want you to be happy when they say that we are against the VAT increase, but we voted for the VAT increase.
To change what Parliament has already resolved on. So a party of extortionists.
And don't you find it quite bizarre that these people are clapping hands for the ANC for actually passing these legislations, and they don't even question that the GNU, it is not the continuation of the 6th administration. And this is something that you would think that many South Africans, or this is a position that you would think many South Africans would actually take, that the GNU, it is not the continuation of the 6th administration. So these people cannot come and say that these things were actually passed in Parliament when we still had the majority. So we have the right to implement this thing, despite us not having the majority anymore. How does it make any sense? When these things were actually passed in Parliament, the ANC had the majority, but the ANC lost the elections, meaning that they have actually lost the power to implement these policies that they have forcefully implemented. And for some reason, these people, they don't see anything wrong with the ANC coming with the policies of the 6th administration and trying to push those policies by fire by force inside the GNU. They don't see any problem with that. They don't see any problem with that. So as long as it was discussed when the ANC still had the majority, the ANC still has a right to pass this policy. And people will say, no, Thomas, these things were actually elaborated in Parliament, but the GNU, it is not the continuation of the 6th administration. This is a brand new administration, because in this administration, not a single political party has actually won with an outright majority. There is not a single political party that has won with an outright majority. So why should a political party that used to have a majority come with the recommendations of the previous administration to say that, now, we understand that we don't have majority right now, but we had majority when we passed these things. This is the kind of politicians that we have in this country.
Has failed to serve South Africans on a very important matter of national interest. So South Africans, don't be misled. We saw this morning that the Western Cape was full of posters and boards claiming victory. That court process is not done. The court have not dictated to these parties or to the GNU.
Like he says that court process, it is not done, despite the finance minister saying they don't want to fight anymore. That court process is not done according to Kunene. According to Kunene. I don't want to lie. I don't want to lie. Honestly, I used to like Kunene and Gated McKenzie. Because me, I don't like to judge, man. I don't like to judge. And when South Africans used to say that we cannot trust these people, we cannot trust these people. When the EFF used to say that you cannot trust these people, I would come in their defense and say that, no, guys, no, this is unfair. This is unfair. You must give people a second chance. I believe in people being given a second chance. But right now, Patriotic Alliance is proving me wrong. They are proving me wrong. Gayton Mackenzie has become a lapdog of the ANC. Listen to his deputy president. Just listen to his deputy president. And somehow some South Africans were actually scammed into voting for these people. They were scammed into voting for these people. But one thing that I like is that right now South Africans can actually see these political parties for exactly who they are. They can see them. Right now, the people can actually see through these people to say that you guys, if given a chance, you are going to stab us in the back. And I hope that South Africans actually take this as a warning and get rid of these people. From 2026 going to 2029, it is South Africans' duty to actually get rid of these politicians. I tried to give them a second chance, but right now I'm with the people that are saying that these people are trash. These people should not be anywhere near the politics of this country.
Remove VAT. Therefore, they cannot claim victory. We appreciate that the Ministry of Finance have had the parties that are gathered here. They've understood that we serve constituencies, and they've understood that our concerns emanate from the mandate that we're given by our different constituencies, and therefore removed the VAT. I will end here, and thank you very much to Action SA, to BOSA, to NCC. We cannot underscore their willingness to negotiate and to vote for the fiscal framework, although they were outside of the GNU.
It is so hard, man. It is so hard to listen to these people. It's so hard. It is so hard. But guys, anyway, on a lighter note, just when you thought that it was bizarre for the people who had actually voted for the VAT increase to come out and say that, guys, we are taking victory now that the VAT has been scrapped. If you think it was bizarre for the political parties that actually voted for the fiscal framework that consisted of 0.5 VAT increase, basically saying that we are for the VAT and we want things to be even more expensive for the people of this country, I want you to listen to Floyd Shivambu, the Secretary General of Umkhonto weSizwe Party. I mean, at this point, I don't know what they are feeding Floyd Shivambu there in KZN. I don't know. I wish, man, I had a friend in KZN, and I wish I had an MK member friend in KZN, and I wish this guy would actually tell me what they are feeding Floyd Shivambu in KZN. And I don't know if there's anything that Bushiri fed Floyd Shivambu when he was there in Malawi. I don't know. Because these days, listening to Floyd Shivambu, man, is like, I don't know. It feels like a torture, man. It feels like a torture. He has basically lost that touch. He has lost that touch. So, Floyd Shivambu says that the decision of the finance minister to scrap the VAT hike, it is not because of the DA and the EFF taking those people to court. It is not because of these political parties that are trying to say that they gave ANC the recommendations. But Umkhonto weSizwe Party, it is the party that is actually should take victory for the decision of the finance minister to reverse the VAT hike. I mean, Umkhonto weSizwe Party literally did nothing besides releasing statements. They literally did nothing besides releasing the statements. When the EFF had decided to join the DA in this court case against the finance minister, Umkhonto weSizwe Party couldn't join the EFF and the DA because they say that, no, how can the EFF side with these racist settlers of the DA and taking Inogodongwana to court. These people are going to lose it. There is no court case that is going to force the finance minister to actually reverse his decision. There is no court case that is going to do that. And they decided to sit on the side. As always, Umkhonto weSizwe Party is always sitting on the side. Now, Floyd Shivambu says this.
We do not want any VAT increase. It's only Umkhonto weSizwe that went to the streets to reject VAT increase. There is no any other political party here in South Africa that went to march against the VAT increase. It's only Umkhonto weSizwe. When others were trying to discuss the VAT in court and in parliament, it's only us who went to the ground to reject VAT. Because we know that you cannot win in the court and in the boardrooms what you have not won on the ground.
May God bless the soul of Floyd Shivambu. May God bless the soul of Floyd Shivambu. We have lost him, guys. The so-called political scientist. We have lost him. Totally. We have lost him. This guy knows very well that the MK party did nothing. The MK party did nothing. They decided to stand on the side. They sat on the side and they watched the DA and the ANC, the DA and the EFF basically embarrass the lawyers of Inogodongwana in court, and Inogodongwana waving a white flag. Now that the VAT has been reversed, they are saying, no, we are the ones that are responsible for that decision, because you cannot fight the VAT hikes in the courts, you cannot fight the VAT hikes in the parliament. So these structures, you cannot fight the VAT hikes in these structures, but you must fight the VAT hikes in the streets. And Umkhonto weSizwe Party, it is the only political party that actually fought these VAT hikes in the streets. I don't know what they did to Karl Marx of Limpopo, man. This guy needs to go back to his home province, man. KZN, it is not good for Floyd Shivambu. KZN, it is not good for Floyd Shivambu. You remember that this is the same person who said that they were lied and misled about Jacob Zuma. They were lied and misled about Jacob Zuma, and he was lied and he was misled by the media. The same media that Floyd Shivambu used to criticize at every given turn. Now he wants the people to believe that, no, the media lied so much about Jacob Zuma that I fell for the lies of Jacob Zuma. He forgets what he used to say about Jacob Zuma for the whole 10 years, rallying that message to the supporters of the EFF. But right now, he wants to say that, no, we were misled. We were misled. How long is it going to take before he actually says that he was misled to visit Bushiri in Malawi? I mean, we have lost Floyd Shivambu, man. It's over with him. Absolutely. Done.
Only Umkhonto weSizwe that went to the streets to reject VAT increase. There is no any other political party here in South Africa that went to march against the VAT increase. It's only Umkhonto weSizwe. When others were trying to discuss the VAT in court and in parliament, it's only us who went to the ground to reject VAT. Because we know that you cannot win in the court and in the boardrooms what you have not won on the ground. Comrades, we as Umkhonto weSizwe must demand now that the Minister of Finance, Inogodongwana, must resign with immediate effect.
I mean, right now he's just saying what the EFF and the DA are saying. He's just saying what the EFF and the DA are saying. I mean, like, again, when you listen to Floyd Shivambu, man, Floyd Shivambu is the reason why I will never get into politics. I don't want to lie. When you listen to Floyd Shivambu speaks, and the fact that he can say all of these things with a straight face, this is what actually scares me about these people in politics. They can say some of these ridiculous things in a straight face. Just look at him. Just look at him. He's looking at the supporters of the MK party and he's like, I'm going to lie to these people, man. I'm going to turn their faces blue with the lies that I'm going to spill. With the lies that I'm going to spill. Politics is something else, man. Politics is something else. How can you say all of these things with a straight face? How can you say all of these things with a straight face? I mean, like, saying this is like, I don't know, ACDP coming out and saying that, guys, we don't listen to any of you. We are the ones that are responsible for this decision. How can you say all of these things with a straight face? Floyd Shivambu has totally lost it. I don't want to lie. And I know that his supporters are going to feel the pains whenever I say, oh, Thomas, oh, how can you say this about a black political party? Ooh, you always pull down our black leaders. Ooh. I know this is what they're going to say. Always. I'm used to them. But Floyd Shivambu needs to go back to he needs to go back to his home province, man. He needs to go and join maybe Mbuyiseni Ndlozi there in the airwaves. He needs to do something besides this politics thing, man. I don't see where it's going off Floyd Shivambu, man. The so-called political scientist. Insane. So the DA, unlike other political parties that actually stood behind the banner of the ANC, because if you look at this banner of the ANC, was properly put there so that these leaders, when they stand in front of these mics, the ANC logo can actually show behind them. Just like now, you can see these people. He's trying to say that, no, I'm a deputy president of the Patriotic Alliance, but just look behind you. Just look what you guys are now representing. And do you think this is by coincidence? It is not by the coincidence. Do you think that the people who have actually set up this room did this by coincidence? No, it was not by coincidence. I mean, like, if these people were the people that were fighting for the people of this country, this flag, the South African flag, it was the one that was supposed to stand behind these people so that when the cameras are actually looking at these people, they can see a South African flag behind these people. But now the ANC said, no, we're going to put the South African flag on the side. But we want the ANC banner to be the one that is behind the mics, because all of these people are nothing but mere representatives of the ANC. The political parties that are sitting here, the leaders of the political parties that are sitting here, they are nothing but the mere the mere tokens of the ANC. Like, it was not by mistake that this banner is here. It is not by mistake. Straight with the cameras, straight with the microphones, and straight with the cameras. Because these people are now the representatives of the ANC. This is what you should see. Whenever you see these political parties, whenever you see these political leaders, you must see them for exactly who they are. The leaders, you must see them for exactly who they are. The tokens of the ANC, the representatives of the ANC, the people that are willing to do the dirty work of the ANC. This is what these people now represent. Musime Mashaba, this guy Hlengwa and this guy from NCC. These people, Patricia de Lille. At this point, we know that Patricia de Lille will do anything that the ANC wants. I mean, the ANC can basically give her a mud and say, Patricia de Lille, please take a spoon and eat this mud. Patricia de Lille will do exactly that. So these people are nothing but the tokens of the ANC. And the ANC did that in this press conference by putting this banner behind these people so that South Africans can see what these people actually represent. They represent the African National Congress, the same African National Congress that they used to criticize so much. This is now what these people represent. And South Africans must not forget that if you vote for any of these political parties, you might as well vote for the ANC. Just vote for the ANC instead of voting for these political parties. So the DA, unlike all of those political parties, they did their own press conference. They didn't want to be joined by anybody or being validated by anybody. They said that, no, we are doing our own press conference, and Helen Zille had a lot to say. But I actually picked this video because I thought this video was actually quite important. This is what Helen Zille has actually said today, or yesterday, man.
So there's going to have to be a spending review. We're going to have to look at where we can cut waste, not frontline services, and where we can protect the poor, especially, from any increase in taxation that makes them have to choose between putting food on the table or putting their children into school, because no longer are the VAT increases affordable. For many, they are already unaffordable. But this whole issue has not yet ended, and I do want to say there is still quite a battle to be run from this point on, because if you look at the minister's statement issued in the early hours of this morning, it says the Minister of Finance will shortly introduce the rates and monetary amounts, and the Amendment of Revenue Laws Bill, which proposes to maintain the value-added tax rate at 15%. In his court papers last week, he said 15.5%. Now he's saying 15%, which shows that he's clearly backed down from the 1st of May 2025. Then he says he's doing that instead of the proposed increase to VAT announced in the budget in March. So he says he will still introduce this this bill, and it will be different from the one he announced in March. So he says he plans to do this, and we have concluded that that means he will do it, but there is still a gap between the intention and the result, and we have to bear that very much in mind. He says the decision to forego the increase follows extensive consultations with political parties. What he critically fails to mention is that it follows the DA's court case on Tuesday, and then suddenly on Wednesday we had this change of heart. So we are now expecting from the minister's lawyers a settlement proposal, a formal settlement proposal. We will respond to that settlement proposal through our own lawyers. So he's going to...
So this is what Helen Zille basically said. And she's doubling down on the fact that these people came and said, we want to settle out of court. So the day has gone and the ANC didn't come out to say that Helen Zille was lying, despite people on social media saying that the Democratic Alliance was basically lying. The DA was lying. No, there's no way that Ino Godongwana would actually send his lawyers to the DA and to settle out of court, because Ino Godongwana had all the ammunition to destroy these people. You saw it yourself, guys. You saw it yourself. And I know that this is a battle that is going to go for quite a while. So we will be here. We will be fighting this battle so that South Africans can see the truth. We're going to be fighting this so that South Africans can see the truth. So guys, I don't know. What do you think about these lapdogs of the ANC and them basically taking the weight of the ANC when the ANC says, you guys are the ones that are responsible for this decision, instead of just being honest with these people to say that we were about to get humiliated in the courts, and that's why we have decided to reverse this decision. So guys, please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye bye.